Together, they combined for over 35 points and almost 13 rebounds. And now Duke's Rodney Hood and Jabari Parker will take their talents to the next level and enter the NBA draft. Hello, everyone. Shea Pepler and our college basketball analyst Jordan Cornette here inside our Campus Insider studios. And joining us from Durham is our Duke insider, Chris Spatola. And Chris, do you believe Jabari Parker is the best player in this draft and worthy of that #1 pick?
Hands down, the best player in this draft. Hands down. I mean, he is the only guy in this draft who today could average 18 points a game in the NBA. He's got a rounded skill set. He can score at all three levels. He's a good defensive rebounder, a sneaky athlete. He had to be the man at Duke this year, which I think is a prerequisite to be a good rookie. And he's a guy, he's one of the few guys in this draft who physically can come in and compete. He's 6'8", 240. I think it's overthinking it big time with his combination of size and skill to not take him as a #1 pick.
Chris, put the hands down. I think you need to put those hands back up because I don't think he's the lock for the #1 pick in this draft. There's some question marks. You got to agree with this. You know, conditioning, durability for an 82-game season. He struggles with the same thing that I struggle with. Going back for seconds in that buffet line, I think weight is going to be an issue with this guy. I think the hands-down pick is Andrew Wiggins at #1 if you're Cleveland. Now, it looks like they're leaning towards Joel Embiid, but I believe Andrew Wiggins has an incredibly high ceiling. And let's be honest, the NBA is all about potential. This guy has maximum potential. I believe he could be the next Kobe Bryant in the NBA. People question his motor, but what motor don't you question of an 18 to 19-year-old? This guy's a versatile defender. He can guard a 2-3, maybe even a 4. He's the most athletic guy in this draft, but most importantly, he can create his own shot. He can make a shot from anywhere on the floor. Offensively, this is a guy who can score 18 points a game right now, I believe.
No, there's no way, Jordan. I mean, there's just no way. First of all, you look at his numbers from this year, there's nothing pointing to him doing that. And here's the thing that kills me about the top of the draft. If you're Cleveland, Milwaukee, or Philly, to look at this thing through a prism of a long-term view where you want a guy with upside is crazy. Those three teams at the top of the draft stink. They need a guy who can come in and produce. So to say that we're going to look at this from a long term, he's got upside, all those words that you just used, he is a great athlete, and he probably is the guy in the draft with the greatest upside. But if you're those three teams choosing at the top, you need a guy who right now can come in and give you production, and there's no way that that's Andrew Wiggins. It's not even close. It's not even close that it's Embiid either.
Chris, you're absolutely right. And Shea makes a good point. Longevity, though, is the thing, and I think Andrew Wiggins gives you longevity, maybe not the right now.
We could go all day on this. Well, the other guy that I mentioned out of Duke at the top was Rodney Hood. He actually spoke with our Seth Davis at the NBA Combine last week, and here's how he thinks he measures up in this year's draft.
I'm in great position. You know, I talk to a lot of teams, and I'm in great shape. You know, it's I'm in the middle to late lottery.
So Jordan, Hood believes he could sneak into the lottery, but what do you think?
I think Rodney Hood is a fringe lottery guy. And when I look at that lottery, I think there's guys that you probably take that are fringe lottery guys ahead of him. Zach LaVine's one. KJ McDaniel's another. PJ Hairston. I like these guys more than Rodney Hood. Look, I think Rodney Hood was a fantastic college basketball player, and his game will translate to the NBA. He'll play for a long time, but he's a one-trick pony. He's only a very athletic jump shooter. He doesn't get to the rim. He needs to be better with the ball. He's a poor defender. There's a lot of question marks with this guy. I think his niche will be to knock down the open shot. He's great for spacing in the NBA, but there's a lot he still needs to develop. A poor defender, needs to get stronger, but like all Duke guys that come out of that program, he's a refined guy. He'll be a great guy for that program. He'll play hard for all 82 games of his season, but spacing and knocking down the jump shot is where he's special. But I don't know if he's lottery quality.
I tend to agree a little bit more on this conversation than I do on the.
You seem so hesitant, Chris.
With Jordan, I am, because I rarely like to agree with you. But look, I think he is a fringe lottery guy. I think he could sneak in there because of what Jordan mentioned about his ability to shoot the basketball, which is a fading commodity these days in our game. What I will say about him, he does have good size. He's 6'8", he's 210. I agree with Jordan. He's got to get a little bit stronger. He's a good athlete. He's a better finisher than Jordan will give him credit for. But here's another thing. He's a real high-character kid. Absolutely. I mean, he's going to do anything you ask him to do. He's got to get better on the defensive end. He's not a great defensive rebounder yet. Those areas need to improve. But I could see him right there on the edge of that lottery.
We will find out come June 26th. Chris Spatola, Jordan Cornette, thank you both very much for the insight.
Always fun. Thanks.
Well, who knows? One day we could be discussing these guys as Hall of Famers. And speaking of that topic, check out the reaction to the newest class of the College Football Hall of Fame. Does Pete Fiutek agree with who made it in and who didn't? We've got answers right here on CampusInsiders.com.